What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a review for season 1, episode 2 of P Valley, which is on the Starz network. And this episode is called Scars. We start this episode off in the blue room, which I don't know why I can't remember the room. It's not the champagne room. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, all kinds of stuff goes on in this room. Mercedes and Mississippi are in there. They doing like a slave master. Mercedes playing the master, and the guy is playing a submissive slave, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I I was just like, what are we doing? Anyway, all kinds of stuff go on in this room, in the blue room. And we see where Autumn is giving a dance. You know, she's lackluster. She's just there trying to get enough going so she can move on. She's there hiding. She has zero investment in anything that's going on at the Pink. So she's giving this lackluster dance and watching this room because she can see that men are going in it and certain girls are going in it and certain items are going in it and that type of thing. And she want to know how she can get over there in that room so she can make some good money and, move on about her way that much further. And this is the one and only time we see Diamond where he tell her to keep her eyes on her job. You know what I'm saying? Focus. Don't worry about what's going on over here in the blue room. All right. So that's how it opens up. Listen, it's this show isn't for the delicate person. It's for people who like, lots of titties, lots of arse, and a slight glimpse of a, flaccid male penis. We see a couple of flaccid male penises in this episode. So if you're not into nudity and just gratuitous cussing and graphic dancing and that type of thing, this is probably not the show for you. I'm interested in seeing how the characters are going to unfold, and hopefully it's very well done. Although right now, I don't know. So let's just talk about Clifford. Clifford is in a real bad place. Clifford is $55,000 in debt. And the money man, which I'm assuming they're good friends, they grew up together or something. I mean, because the way they talk with each other, you would think that they were kin folks, right? Or at least they got a lot invested on in from both of their sides where everything needs to be copacetic. Well, this dude then opened the mail and found out about the $55,000 in debt, and Clifford assures him that it's gonna be straight. And Clifford assures him that when they do the car wash, the annual car wash that they do, he gonna more than make up for this money. And the guy just does not believe that it can happen. And Clifford is feeling down. He feeling bad because this thing is catching up with him. He walks out to his car, just for all the vibrato that he gives all the ladies, this no nonsense and rules and this and that and the other. For the most part, he's broke. He goes out to it looked like a deuce and a quarter, the car he was getting in. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a deuce and a quarter. He going to get in the old car, and he, looking at the notice and thinking to himself what he gonna do. He go to put it in the glove box, and it's full of past due notices. I was like, Do you own this property? Do you own the land? Are you leasing the building? Like, how does one get $55,000 in debt? Like, were you injured? Was there a huge repair? Like, did you take money? And it was a high interest rate. Like, how have we gotten here? Because every scene that we have seen thus far, it has opened up with legs clapping and booty clapping and what looks like hundreds of dollars being thrown up in the air. Like, y'all counting stacks and stacks and stacks of money. Like, old dude who counting the money got something going on the back end. They supposed to be making money off of wings. I don't know. Are they cashing checks for Mexican Americans or illegals? Like, what is going on? It seemed like a lot of money moving around, but you $55,000 in debt. Are you just not paying the bill? Like, what the hell? I just don't understand it. I'm confused. Like, I need to see what happened that got you to this place. You can't just tell me this dude is running a club with all this efficiency. These girls are coming in at 100,000. I mean, they themselves are making some of them a grand a night. You charging $20 at the door. The girls working, they got to work, the money that they earn, they work for it. So it's not like you got to pay a salary. Plus, whatever they make, they got to pay the house. Like, where the money going? It ain't in your car. You know, and as pulled together as Uncle Clifford is, he ain't laced. He ain't laced, you know. He in the car and he's smoking a cigarette and wondering what is I'm gonna do, how is I'm gonna make this right, you know what I mean? And he gets startled because somebody in his back seat. Now it's Lil Murda, okay, and how they pushing Lil Murda is he wants to be a rapper. He's a fledgling rapper. I don't know where he get all that money or that mouthful of gold. I don't know if he has a different occupation and he do something else by night or by day or whatever. But he keeps showing up with Clifford. He want Clifford to play his music. Now, apparently, there's no other way for him to get his music played unless it's at the strip club. Or, I don't know, maybe the strip club is how people pop off in the music industry. Yeah, he's kind of upset with Clifford because he thought he was the big boss in charge, but he couldn't get his music played. He was like, "Well, it's not my fault that Mercedes didn't want to dance to that music, right?" And it go from it's your first song, come back when you've written your 27th song, and or album or whatever. And I don't know how it got to this conversation where Lil Murda say word on the street is that Uncle Clifford is a bottom bitch. And basically he's trying to say he's a bottom, but you didn't want to take this D because I got all this D. And, Uncle Clifford is what's the word? I mean, he's slightly terrified because the dude is in his back seat, but also at the same time he's tantalized because the dude is coming on to him. And he's reading him, like he's reading what it is that Uncle Clifford may be into, may like. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, "I know you. I know what you like, right?" Listen, that moment Uncle Clifford was smoking a cigarette, in the car. He in the driver's seat, and he's smoking with his left hand, which is right next to the window, right? And old dude is right behind him, and he reached past him, and it looked like he gonna hit him, but he reach him and get that cigarette out of his hand and start smoking it, and he right there on top of Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford panties was so wet. Uncle Clifford panties was juicy, baby. I mean, the energy that he was giving, I was like, ooh, back up. Ooh, back up so I can think, sir. Later on, Uncle Clifford has a conversation with Mayor Ruffin, who come in like Councilman Alderman Tate from Good Times. You know what I'm saying? He got gold teeth. I was like, what is we doing? The town they live in is called Cosalissa or Coscalissa or something like this. Kind of like Tuscaloosa, but it's Coscalissa. Anyway, uh, Willie Coochie. Willie Coochie, Georgia. Child. Of course, but they in New Orleans and why they had the car wash, Mayor Ruffin pull up. Like I said, he got gold teeth, and Uncle Clifford got a bone to pick with him because he the reason why Uncle Clifford can't have a liquor license, right? Because as long as the girls are showing their breasts, they can't have a liquor license. Well, you got to have your titties with your tequila, Uncle Clifford say, and the people in your town like that, right? And so he gives him all the rules, and then Mayor Ruffin, and then lightly threatens. Now Mayor Ruffin is dressed like your uncle on a Saturday. Now he good looking. He good looking. He good looking. He my type. Him and the money counter. I give it that. Anyway, so I mean, everybody seemed to be Gucci with Clifford. Like he doesn't really seem like he has a lot of. I mean, there's some political or business push and pull, but he doesn't seem like he has a lot of animosity shown towards him for being, a flamboyant gay male, right? The mayor's cool with him. Like nobody's bringing the subject matter up at all. Everybody treats him just like everyone else, which is as it should be. But typically you don't see that. Typically you see this, when it's portrayed, you typically see, the opposition towards this type of lifestyle. So, yeah, he want the girls to wash the car, but that don't go so well, right? Wash this man's car and make it squeaky clean, because he's trying to appease the man, but that don't go so well. Also, we see where Uncle Clifford losing his wingman because the wingman ain't being paid. And him and the money counter in that little shed, in that little trailer trying to make wings for everybody that night, and it's hard. In come little Murda, and he got some music that he want Uncle Clifford to listen to. And he goes up to Clifford and puts the earphones in Clifford's ear. Again, if somebody touches you about your face and your person, it's a sign of intimacy. Like, it's clear. Dude, you're not on a DL. Like what we see you giving off is this attraction to Uncle Clifford, clearly. Anyway, he tell Clifford criticize his music and tell him what he need a little cat pow pow cat pow pow cat, that type of thing. People like that hype music, right? And he tell him, well, why you criticizing my music? You need to get these farty wings from up here. These wings got people farting, and you ain't got no money gun. You ain't got no hookah in the club. And Clifford is listening like, oh, really? What else can I do to make my club better? Yeah, you need to lace your wings with weed. You need to cook them, saute them in weed butter. I was like, you cannot get no wing tender to the bone, sauteing it in no pan. Not that volume of wings that you got to drop. Like, what is we talking about? And everybody knows that cannabis butter has to be cooked for a long time in order to leach all of the cannabis, all of the THC out of the goddamn marijuana, right? You don't just sprinkle it in and eat it that way. No, it's got to be steeped and soaked and all of that. This is how this thing is done. You don't just sprinkle weed on top of wings and you know. He thinks that if he do it in this weed butter, which he finna make right here, right now, no, can't be done. But it's TV, okay. So, um, that people will be higher and they'll spend more money. Now, I don't eat nothing but crispy fried fish. If grease don't burn off the nasty, I don't know what else you could do to that fish to make it good enough to eat. Deep fry that joker and don't drop it on the floor. And that is what I will eat at a club. But what I will not do is eat no wet wings, and I can't see if it's blood to the bone or nothing. Like, Anyway, so he helps out that way, puts an apron on and shows him how to cook it and shows him how to make it. And they're courting, they're dating, unbeknownst to both of them. They're getting to know each other, and it's finna be something. I still think that little Murda ain't no good for nobody. I still think that. He seems like a really nice guy. He seems like he's very knowledgeable, but he does seem like he may have a propensity to be violent. So we're gonna see. All right. So Mercedes is continuing to celebrate her last days at the Pink. She's going for a run, and she runs up on a dude. His name is Mine. Hey, he see her. Hey, Mine, that's you? I didn't even see you over there. I don't know how you didn't see him over there. First of all, this buck is bench pressing a car. He bench pressing a car, baby, as you walk by. How could you not see him? Okay, he is fine. Okay, mine is fine. Okay. Ooh, Lord, he was dark like midnight, baby. Dark like midnight. Had some old dog tattoos all over him. I was like, Lord, have mercy. Look what you have created. He got up from underneath that car. I was like, what is your name, sir? Oh, my. Oh, my. What a magnificent creature you are. What a magnificent beast. Yeah. He got an anklet on. He want to go see her last dance, and he assuring her he gonna be there. He got to wait to get this anklet off and get down there and see her. She look like she's sweet on him. He look like he's sweet on her. But Mercedes got a hard edge. She got to act like she don't care one way or another if he show up. But baby, the whole reason she on that run with her dog Black and Mild, who's a Rottweiler, look like it, and is so she could see Mine out there underneath that car working, baby. But he wasn't underneath it. He had it like bitch pressed over his head. Oh, that was a big joker. Baby, you get pitched up with him, you might as well surrender, darling. You will not get out unscathed, honey. And please expect that you will be walking funny the next day. So she get home and her mama steady calling her. She down there trying to work with the Chuckaloosa Challengers. That's her dance troupe, and her mom is steady calling. She let them know, they complaining about being out there and practicing on the hot asphalt. She let them know that this storefront building right behind them is going to be the new home of the Chuckaloosa Challengers. And they are celebrating and they happy. Meanwhile, a guy drive by, couple of guys, and they make some comments about her because they know she at the strip club. I don't know if the girls know it, but she kind of ran them off a little bit like she was shamed. How you gonna outrun what you did for a living in the same town? How is that possible? Ain't nobody's gonna talk about the fact that you used to strip down at the Pink? No, girl. You got to either embrace it or, it is what it is. And I just don't understand why you doing all this. I get it. You trying to help the girls and you want to do something different. But why you trying to do it in that town? That town, even in the opening credits when it come on, that town is as run down as a town can get. Now, I do enjoy that black cowboy that rides through. Let me just say that. But houses are boarded up. People are extremely poor. I mean, when the strip club is one of the few places you can work around there, like, anyway, they excited about getting this building. So she go to work, and she is her regular self. You know, she's constantly hazing Autumn. Every chance she gets, she got something negative to say to Autumn or about Autumn. And it's coming out real haterish when she get home from working at the bank. uh she realizes that her mother is sitting there on the porch and she's smoking out a vape pen. Now, I think that's marijuana that she's smoking out of that vape pen. And she need the money. She need money, see, because she calling and pressuring Mercedes for her tithes, right? And trying to harass Mercedes into giving her and the church more money. At first, I thought she must be taking this money from Mercedes and not giving it to the church, because the pastor came in and was trying to speak to her. But no, he's aware of the money, and he wants more money. I thought you said your daughter was gonna make another deposit into the tithes, so that if the bank don't give, we don't have at least 20% down, the bank is not gonna give us this loan. Where's the paperwork, Mercedes? Have you seen the paperwork? This just something your mama telling you. You know you can't trust your mama. And you know you can't trust that church your mama in. She's singing songs about giving 10%. She doing sick and shut-in visits, trying to get money from people that way. The pastor is pimping her so that she can pimp you for your money. Now, Mercedes has learned that Uncle Clifford is in a bad way. Even though she don't have the whole 55,000, she do have to pay for this building she's trying to get for her dancer troupe, and I'm sure she probably want to give Clifford something to try to help him as much as he's helped her. So she demands her money back, and the mama seems disheveled. She seems like she wasn't prepared for this. I don't think they ever planned on giving Mercedes her money back. Like, what is she gonna say? I gave them this money. This is proof of all the cash money I gave them. No, you're not gonna ever see this money again. You don't have a leg to stand on in court. How will you ever get this money back from these people? I mean, the man is telling the mama, the pastor is telling the mama, making it seem like she don't need to sing no more. She need to preach from the pulpit. And then he acts like he gonna come in for a kiss. He see that she's excited about it, and he gets a little feather out of her eyelash, child. It's all just pimping. It's all just pimping and manipulation. And then the mama bring it all back home and drop it down at Mercedes' feet. It's more pimping. It's more manipulation. What I don't understand is, Mercedes want her money back. How you gonna get your money back, sis? Why are you busy worried about Autumn not having curtains on her window and her being high yellow and all this other stuff? You need to be figuring out how you gonna get your money back from that crooked ass church. That's what you need to be trying to figure out, sis. Okay, so all this tough guy, you and Clifford a lot alike, all this tough guy routine, and both of y'all is robbing Peter to pay Paul, and getting hustled, getting hustled, getting handled, getting managed. The both of y'all. But the both of y'all supposed to be the toughest thing on the goddamn show, in the goddamn town. So let's wrap this up with Autumn. Autumn, like I said, she tried to get in there in the champagne room. Clifford done pressured her and told her, don't worry about what's going on over there in the blue room. You need to get your ID. We don't do tax fraud around here. She down at the payphone in front of that shack she living in, that one room shack she living in. It's more like a mini project. She living in on the payphone, child. When last time you seen the payphone? And she calling down to the FEMA office trying to see if bodies, have been identified. And you call down there and ask for your loved one's name, and they'll tell you if they don't have it on the deceased list, or if they do have it. She got a couple of IDs. Now the ID that she found, which is Lakeisha Savage, there's no record of her having been found. She had another ID, and that person body had been identified. So she decided that's the ID she gonna give Clifford. Now, while she on the phone with the FEMA peace people, she want to ask about Montavious Hill. Has his body been found? And they said no, we don't have no record of that body being found. I was like, oh, okay, Montavious Hill. Now, like I told y'all before, everything about Autumn tells me that she is not innocent, right? Like, she's not this damsel that ran from in duress, or yeah. So anyway, we also get to see Andre, and he's going through photos looking like a creep. And he's working for, I guess, Promised Land Casino and Resort. And they buying up land, kind of like what we see on Queen Sugar. They buying up all this land because they going to put a casino down here. Something to benefit white dollars, right? Put money in white pockets. Basically, you buy up all the land, and the community suffers. They supposedly get jobs, but it's no type of ownership. It's more like indoctrination. Like, you're gonna come work for us, and we're gonna be the you know anyway. But they secretly buying up land, which I think they want to buy up the land that the Pink is on too. But they don't really talk about that here. We see where he's in a cotton field taking more pictures, and this land belongs to three white boys. Well, two of them white. They all brothers, and they daddy died and left the land and the property, which all this cotton, to the sons. Two of the sons was by the wife, and one of the sons, Corbin, was by the maid. Right, he half black, and they want to sell the land. They're gonna give him $6 million for selling part of his land, but he won't sign. And so Andre volunteers to go down and to go and get his signature, and he want to know where he located right over there at the paint. So he looks up, sees the billboard, heads over to the paint. Gets over the paint, and he is chit-chatting, eating wings and chit-chatting with Corbin, trying to get him to sign the land over like his brothers want to do, so they can get out from underneath it and make this quick money grab. He don't want to do it. He rather lease the land because he knows that that's more long-term money, as opposed to selling the land and then you have no stake in the residuals of what they're making. Like, you have no investment ownership, right? You just sold it outright, and this $6 million is all you will ever get. He wants to lease the land so he can make continual money, and he also wants to pay Andre to make it happen. I'll give you off the rip, off the top. It's the same thing that Mayor Ruffin is doing, right? Now, at this time, Mercedes has been in and tried to offer a dance, trying to undercut Autumn, and Andre chose Autumn. So while his whole conversation is going on, Autumn is in there doing the slowest, driest dance ever, and she listening to all of this. Well, Corbin, trying to sweeten the deal for Andre, gives Mercedes a rack to go into the blue room with Andre. Andre was like, no, it's not necessary, but it goes down anyway. And so she goes to dance, and he's obviously attracted to her. He obviously is on the Woody Wood side. He don't want her to sit next to him or touch him because, like I said, he on the Woody Wood side. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you taking it too fast, too hard up in this thing. They get to talking and chit-chatting or whatever, and she got a scar on her stomach, and he show a scar on his chest. His heart was born outside of his chest when he was born. And he tells her the story all about it, and it's a moment of connection because he notices her C-section scars, and it's just this moment between the two of them. And when he says something about it's no different than having a baby, what he went through wasn't no different than having a baby. And she don't like that. She getting ready to go. So he stopped her for a minute, And he realized this conversation she don't want to have, and they have a little bit of banter, and she tells him that you know uh she got some information for him, right? She tells him that he can, something about if he gonna do something with the money, he need to build a shell corporation to insulate himself so it'll never come back to him. 2 or 3 shell corporations. One of the best way to do that is to do and get incorporated in, I guess, Delaware, because they go easy on shell corporations. And he's a little thrown aback because now you done told the man your name is Haley, right? And now you letting the man know a little bit more about money and that type of thing, which we saw her go and make some money transfers. Looked like she was moving some money around inside of some of these shell corporations. Looked like she got about $9,000 that she is transferring to herself. Now she transferring it under Lakeisha Savage, right? This how you gonna be found out, because when they look for Lakeisha Savage and see the last time somebody made an inquiry about her, whether it was a employment inquiry or a credit inquiry or anything like that, and they see this name, they gonna know where you located, girl. Like, but she ain't no dumb girl. She ain't no dumb girl. She is not a dumb girl. All right. We see where she go to the car wash, baby, and she have a little nervous breakdown because she in this car once again trying to look like, trying to hide instead of hustling up out here with all these other girls. She inside the car trying to hide. She done gave Mercedes some excuse about not having any more leather cleaner, and Mercedes get out the car and leave her in the car. And I guess they started washing the car while she was in there. It reminded her of Hurricane Katrina. She started having a panic attack, climbing out of the man's sunroof. She done opened the sunroof and climbed out of the sunroof, down the front windshield, down the hood, and she is screaming bloody murder. Like, of course, Uncle Clifford comes and he gathers her up. Now this the mayor's car. They ain't gonna get paid for that vehicle. And Clifford gotta suck it up, but at the same time he try to show support for her. Mercedes take her home. It's more harassment. And she trying to see inside her house. You can look at the outside and tell. She got newspaper up to the windows. Mercedes want to come in so she could see a little bit more. See how much better off she is than Autumn. Autumn know better than to let Mercedes near anything she got going on, because Mercedes, like I said, is a hater. So, all of this is going on with Autumn. But when she gets down to the club and she has this dance and she hears this conversation, here's an opportunity for her, and she stays looking for an opportunity. Just like she stay looking at that room trying to see if there's more, it's money in that room, then she don't mind going to that room, right? Like, she'll do what she got to do to get into that room and get that money out of there. She hear this conversation, she trying to see how this can work for her. So she's really working Andre. It seems like they may be making a connection, but she working him, right? When she goes and gives her money up and they see how much money she made, and Clifford, kind of questions her about it. Plus he want her ID. He already told her, no excuses, I'm gonna need that ID, ma'am. And she gives him the ID, and he trick her. He knows she don't know the birth date. I was like, girl, how much game can you be running if you don't know how to study your own fake ID? You should know your own fake ID backwards and forwards. That's rule number 1 to fake IDs. He tripped her up real good, kind of corner her a little bit, and she started giving up information of what she heard over there in the champagne room, right? The conversation that Corbin and Andre was having, okay? She let him know, Clifford know, that the casino was coming. He pretend like he know, but he didn't know, and she knows that he didn't know. So now she got tea that he won't. So she give him Andre's card and tell him to call Andre and ask him more about it. He said, no, you working him. You working him. You get the information and you bring me back the tea. And if you don't, I'm going to let this ID, let everybody know about this ID. I'm going to uncover what's going on with this Lakeisha Savage on this here ID. And so I don't know if it's a moment for Autumn to be scared, or if all of this sort of plays into her plan, which is ultimately to get is to see about herself, is to do for herself, is to maybe get back to her daughter. I don't know if this little girl is still alive. I don't know if she got custody of this little girl. Like, you calling to check on Montavious Hill, but I ain't hear you call and check on your little girl. Like, I haven't seen where you have done anything but look at those pictures. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm looking for this thing to move past the pink. Like, I need it to move past the pink. I know the pink is supposed to be like the central point, but I'm so sick. I'm so sick of the strip club. Like, enough already. I see breast and vagina every day. Like, literally. I don't need to see it here constantly, okay? But y'all tell me what you think of the episode. What do y'all think of Clifford being $55,000 in debt? Am I just being naive? Like, you own this business. Like, what is going on? Did you take out a loan on your business? A lien on your business? Like, what? It's so much money. It's so much money constantly. You see so much money in this club. Like, I don't understand. Like, you would think one night would be $50,000. Like, y'all tell me what you think. What y'all think about little Murda, you know, in the way, I think he's a good actor. I think he's coming across as a real good actor. His energy is very focused. It's very intense. Like, I can feel those moments he's around Uncle Clifford, the way the vibe he's giving. I feel that same energy. Like, he's projecting really, really well. I still think that the actress that plays Autumn is not great. She is not great. I like Mercedes a lot. I really, really want to see Mercedes step up as a true leader in this. I love the fact that she went to Clifford and asked him how much money he needed. I thought that was really good. I like what she's doing with the girl troupe. I just don't know. I don't know if this whole rivalry and thing that she's trying to create with Autumn, they probably gonna end up being fast friends and buddies, you know, in the game. But y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah.